Hello students, welcome to the next lecture of the Butterworth filter approximation. Last time we started and we have seen the properties of low pass Butterworth filter. How exactly it will show this kind of graph. So this is what we have seen in the last lecture. Let me just plot the same graph. We plotted it for h of ohm square versus ohm. So for that one we have seen this is what the low pass filters graph. It is bifurcating with respect to the OMC, that is the cutoff frequency. At this point this is almost equal to 1. This is pass band and this is nothing but the stop band, that is OMS. Here we plotted some of the points like 1 upon 1 plus psi square, and this is 1 upon 1 plus delta square. This is nothing but the transition band, this is stop band, this one is nothing but the pass band. Likewise the distinguished values we have seen. Now to study in detail regarding the design, let's have the summary of all this. OMC is nothing but the cutoff frequency for analog filter. OMS, that is nothing but the stop band edge frequency. This is pass band edge frequency. Similarly AS is nothing but the stop band attenuation or attenuation in the stop band. AP is nothing but the attenuation in the pass band. So these are some of the terms which we will require to solve the numericals. Now normally what is happening in case of the digital filter design, that is IR filter design, with the help of the approximation, Butterworth approximation, the filter specifications will be given in digital format. Means its specification will be the discrete time and we need to design the filter, but for that one we are approximating it with respect to the analog concern. So whatever the values we are having, that will be the digital values or the digital specification. We need to convert it into the analog filter, and later on we are converting it into the digital for the stability of the filter. That is nothing but the concept which we started with, that is to convert any analog filter to any digital filter. For the stability concern, we must satisfy some of the properties. Means the left side of, let's say this is what S plane. So whatever on the left side of S plane, any number of poles that will lie inside the unit circle. So if this is what the mapping, then for this mapping we are designing the stable filter. So let's have the study for this. The very obvious stage is when the values are given in terms of the digital specifications, we need to convert it into the analog. So if I want to convert, let's say the omega into ohm, the formula for the impulse invariance, if I say this is what the step number 1, then by using impulse invariance it will be nothing but ohm is equal to omega by Ts. This is for impulse invariance method. Let me call it as a IIM. Similarly, if it is for the BLT, it can be written as a ohm is equal to 2 by Ts tan omega by 2, where the omega is getting converted into the ohm. Ts is nothing but the sampling time. Similarly, Fs is nothing but the sampling frequency. This is in case of the BLT. So this is how the first step can be simplified over here. Now the next step is to calculate the order of the filter. But for calculating the order of the filter, we can have the various formulae, like n can be written as a 1 by 2 into, let's say, the log of, I will just write down here, 1 upon AS square minus 1 divided by 1 upon AP square minus 1. Now remember here the values, like it is nothing but 1 upon AS square. After solving this term, then do the minus 1 operation. Similarly here also. Next, log, this is nothing but ohm S by ohm P. This is how It is simplified. Now this value of n, that is the order of the filter. Let me write it here, order of filter. This is what n means. So for calculating the order of filter, if we have AS, AP, ohm S, ohm P, we can easily calculate the order of the filter. But if let's say this AS and AP are given in terms of the dB, that is decibel values, so same order of the filter can be written as a 1 by 2. Then this will be numerator, that is log of 10 raised to 0.1 AS minus 1 divided by, this is 10 raised to 0.1, let me just write it here, this is whole log 0.1 AP minus 1 divided by, so this is 1 by 2, and this is nothing but again log ohm S by ohm P. This is how the values, if these values are given in dB, AS as well as AP, then we can use this second formula. If it is not in dB, then use this first for calculating the order of the filter. Now if let's assume that we do have the values of delta S, that is nothing but the attenuation in stop band or alternatively stop band error tolerance, then the order of the filter can be calculated like this. Capital N is equal to 1 by 2 log 1 upon delta S its square minus 1 divided by 2 log ohm S by ohm C. This is how it will be calculated. Now this is regarding the calculation of only the order of the filter. Let's proceed to calculate the values for the cutoff frequency. So if I say it is nothing but the ohm C, so let me just write down the step number 3 here itself. So for the step number 3, we can just write it, let's say the for the impulse invariance, as we have seen, ohm is nothing but equal to omega by Ts, so it will be ohm C is equal to omega C by Ts. Similarly, if it is for the bilinear transformation, then it can be simplified like ohm C is equal to 2 by Ts tan omega C by 2. This is how it will be simply calculated for the impulse invariance as well as the BLT method. There is one more alternative formula for the calculation of the ohm C. If these values are given as a AP without dB and with dB, then how to calculate it? So this is nothing but ohm C in terms of the ohm P as well as AP. So AP square minus 1 raised to 1 by 2n. This is what the formula, where ohm C is in terms of the ohm P, and it is also calculated in a simpler way, ohm C in terms of ohm P and AP, but it is without dB. If it is in dB, now this is actually without dB. If it is in dB, then we can go for simple ohm P by 10 raised to 0.1 AP minus 1. So this is where, this is the formula when the calculations are or to be done in dB for ohm P or AP. Okay, so this is what the next step. Let's calculate for the another step where we can just write it. So the step number 4 is quite simpler, where we are going to see it with respect to the point where the poles are to be calculated. As we have seen at the start of the lecture, the poles are deciding the stability of the filter. So for that one, we need to proceed it in an appropriate way. for the stable filter design. So here the step number 4 can be simply to calculate the poles. So here we are going to calculate the poles. So these poles, let's assume that indicated with the values like pk is equal to plus or minus ohm C, since these poles can be the conjugate, so that's why this will be plus or minus e raised to j, that is 2k plus n plus 1 into pi by 2n. So this is nothing but the value for pk, but the value of k is ranging from 0, 1 till n minus 1, where the value of n already we have seen in the earlier stages how to calculate the order of the filter. This is how the poles are to be calculated, but the poles can be the complex conjugate. Then we can arrange it like if the first pole is p1, then the second will be the p1 star. If the first is, let's say, p2, then the second will be the p2 star, like that. Next stage is nothing but for calculating the system transfer function for the analog filter. As we have seen, it can be indicated as a h of s or ha of s. So this can be given in general as a ohm C raised to n divided by s minus p1, then s minus p2 dash dash dash. So where p1, p2, these are nothing but the poles which we calculated over there at the step number 4. Now if the poles are conjugate, then this formula can be alternatively written as a ohm C raised to n by s minus s1. So this is plain. Then s minus s1 star means this is the conjugate of the first value. Similarly, this is, let's say, s minus s2 into s minus s2 star. Like this, further we can extend it like this is s minus s3 into s minus s3 star. So this star indicates it is a conjugate. So we can further put it with the dash. So this is how the step number 5 will give the analysis of h of s. Now once we got the h of s, it is quite obvious that we can convert it into the h of z, which is required, and that is what our digital filter. So how to convert this h of s into h of z? That is either by impulse invariance method, where 1 upon s minus pk terms will give 1 upon s minus e raised to pk ts z inverse, or bilinear transformation method, where this s will be replaced by 2 by ts z minus 1 by z plus 1. So these are some of the values which we can go for while designing the filter. So thank you everyone, thank you very much. In the next session we will see how to design the filter.